Hi, you guys. Welcome back to my channel. I know you guys miss me. Hello. And, happy late Thanksgiving. Even though Thanksgiving was yesterday, but happy Thanksgiving anyway. And today, we will be talking about my one-time, all-time favorite trilogies, High School Musical. This was so good that they even had a spin-off made called High School Musical the Musical. So anyway, let's jump right into High School Musical the Musical. Well, actually, just High School Musical. I'm thinking of the show, which is so good. I recommend watching the show because it was made by the same brilliant creators. So shout out to you guys who created High School Musical and who created High School Musical the series. You guys are awesome. So let's jam right into this. And did you notice I said jam? Because it's got music in it. Okay, so moving on. Now, High School Musical starts with a New Year's Eve party, and we meet our two main characters, Gabriella, who is in the downstairs lobby reading because they're at this fancy party thing. So she is reading her book because she loves to read, just like me, a girl after my own heart. And we meet our main guy, Troy, who is played by Zac Efron, and Vanessa Hudgens plays Gabriella, and they play it so well. I just have to say, shout out to the actors. I love you guys. Okay, so Troy is playing one-on-one with his dad, and they are playing basketball. Now, Troy's father is the coach of his basketball team, the Wildcats, and he is preparing him because they got a game, but the mom says, hold on, this is New Year's Eve, there's a party going on. Troy, they have a kids party downstairs. But the mother switches it and says, well, young adults, now go shower up. So after that one last hoop, Troy goes to the New Year's Eve party. And our main girl, Gabriella, actually goes to after she's finished getting dressed. So they're both at the party, and they do not notice each other until a guy that is actually picking people out from the crowd to sing karaoke, and it turned out that they meet up to sing karaoke together, and they rock the house, you guys. It's a really cute and adorable moment for these two, and I love them so much, which is why I'm gonna do the whole trilogy on this channel. And I don't care if you're a fan, this is my channel. I am doing all the movies, all 3 movies. So, after they get finished singing, they talk a little, and Gabriella says that it was her first time doing it, and it was so cool, and she really loves to sing, but she has stage fright, so if she sees anybody staring at her, she will stare directly at the ceiling, and that's kind of how I felt when I got in, and that's kind of how I felt when I was in high school and I got into theater. And I did some chorus, but I get where Gabriella's coming from. It's not easy performing in front of people. But we're getting off a topic here. So anyway, so Troy says, well, by the way you sing tonight, that's pretty hard to believe. And then Gabriella says, well, you seem like you've done a lot of singing too. And then he says, yeah, my shower head is very impressive. So, so, it is counting down to New Year's, and I actually thought that they were gonna kiss, but they didn't, and it's a good thing because they just met in Wool. So, after this, they exchange numbers, and Troy and Troy wants to act like, where do you live so I can call you tomorrow? But Gabriella's already gone, so since they said their goodbyes, we cut to the next day, school day, where he says, Happy New Year to all his basketball friends who are called the Wildcats. And so we skip over to Gabriella, who is transferred from her new school. So now she is going to Troy School to East High, and she is a bit nervous because at her old school they used to call her the math genius. But let's just say that she moved around a lot and she didn't really like the fact that people called her math genius. And I forgot our two popular people, Sharpay and Ryan, who play the bad guys in the movie. But trust me, throughout the series, they do get better throughout. But I don't know about Sharpay in the second movie. But they do get better throughout. So anyway, you remember when I told you that Sharpay was a popular girl? Well, um, she is the popular girl. Oh, and they have a theater, and they do music. And they have a theater where and they have theater, and they are putting on a musical. So keep that in mind as I go on in this video. Thank you. And so we cut on to class time where everybody is texting on their phones. And I don't see how this is allowed, like, ever. Because, back when I was in school, you could not have a phone out in class. And Miss Darvis, our main Miss Darvis, our theater teacher, she sees that all the cell phones are out, so she comes to see them, and she welcomes Gabriella to East High. And there we see Gabriella and Troy see each other for the first time. It's a really magical moment. It's a really magical moment. It is a really cool moment that they see each other for the first time in the hallway after 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 she assigned everybody the attention, everybody the tension. But it's really Troy and Gabriella's fault. I'm not trying to point fingers, but they were texting in class, and we all know that texting isn't allowed. But it's okay. So anyway, after they all get detention, they all say their goodbyes, and Troy and Gabriella walk into the hallway, and they see the sign-up list, and they actually see the signed-up list for High School Musical. Well, it's not actually called High School Musical. I think it's called something else. But anyway, they see the sign-up list for the musical. They attempted to sign up, but Troy tells Gabriella, "Oh, that's completely impossible." And 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 her and Troy begin to talk more, and we find out that Troy was actually looking for her, but his family had to leave first thing, and his friends don't know that he's a singer, which I think is silly because who cares if you like to sing? I like to sing. Pretty much everybody has different interests, but to his friends, he is the basketball guy, and so forth. He will always stay the basketball guy. And so, oh, and did I mention my girl Taylor? Taylor and all her, and all her, and and all her friends, they are on this team called the Scathlon team. And I love her. She is so smart. And she also gets attention. So basically, Troy, Ryan, Gabriella, Corbin, and Taylor, and everybody gets attention. And so, with that out of the way, because I know I forgot to mention it, so I do apologize for forgetting to mention it. So anyway, we so anyway, um, Gabriella, mm, 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 Gabrielle tells Troy, "Well, if you sign up, I would consider coming to the show." And he says, "No, that's impossible." And then we meet Sharpay, who is signing up and telling Gabriella, "Hey, if you sign up, I'm sure we can find something for you." But then Gabriella tells her, "No, thank you. I just want to focus on all my classes and help my mom get the new house organized." And they actually and 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 um and my girl Gabriella, I call her my girl because that's my favorite character. My girl Gabriella compliments Sharpay on her penmanship, and then she just goes straight to class and says goodbye to Troy. But Sharpay, on the other hand, had a big crush on Troy. So she said, I miss you on vacation, what'd you do? And then he says, snowboarding, basketball, snowboarding, more basketball. And you know those sports types. So anyway, after that, we get our favorite song, Get Your Head in the Game, sung by Troy and all his basketball friends. But Troy is having second thoughts and he tells um his best friend what is it? Oh wow. Corbin Blue. I can't believe I forgot his name. He tells his best friend Corbin Blue that is it true that you get credit for auditioning for the play? And he says, yeah, dude, who cares? Well, actually, he doesn't say yeah, but he says, who cares? It's all costumes and makeup, and dude, it's frightening. But he is having second thoughts because he really did like singing with Gabriella on their vacation. So he asks his dad when they're outside practicing, and it's gonna drive me nuts that I don't know what his best friend is because his name. Chad. Oh my god, Chad, it was gonna drive me crazy. Corbin's name for this movie is Chad. And man, I don't know why I forgot that because I've seen High School Musical like 100 times. But anyway, he asks his dad, and his dad says, well, you mean about going left for basketball practice? You're doing fine, come on. And then he says, no, what if you want to try something really, really new? And uh, and it is a total disaster, and all your friends laugh at you. And then his dad says, well, obviously they're not really your friends. I mean, that was my whole point of the team today about getting your head in the game and working together to win. And actually, before this, they were in detention because remember how, like, they got in detention because they were playing with their phones? Well, they got in detention and they were sitting in a tree. And then the cop said, what the heck are those two doing in a tree? Well, and jam force to the gym right now. That is my favorite line from in the movie. But my favorite scene is when he is sneaking into rehearsals and we kind of get a sneak peek about how the rehearsals are going. They're not going so good until Ryan and Sharpay show up, and it's a beautiful thing because they sing um um I never um I wait mm, I never wait you're the one out you're the one out you're the one I've been looking for, I think. Well, put it in the comments. Is it you're the one or no, I think that is. Like you're the one you're the one I've been looking for. So they knocked that song out of the park, but they did it wrong because it's supposed to be a slow version written by our composer Kelsey Nielsen, who's a genius at the piano. Thank you, my girl Kelsey. I love you because you are one of my favorite characters next to Gabriella. Love you. Love you. Love the piano. Love the way you play. So anyway, she actually wrote a version of that song to be slower. But she did actually talk to Sharpay about it. And Sharpay said, Kelsey, how many times have your how many times have your songs been selected? And Kelsey actually tells her that this will be the first. And then this is when Sharpay says, which tells us what? And then Kelsey says, that I should write you more solos. And then this is when Sharpay says, no, this tells us that you don't give direction or tell us what to do or tell us what to sing. Are we clear? Well, she didn't say it exactly like that, but I can't say it that fast like she does. So anyway, after that, Kelsey agrees and says yes ma'am to Sharpay. And Sharpay actually says, nice talking to you. And may I just say, I love all their outfits in this movie. So anyway, they so anyway, Troy and Gabriella are hiding, but they wanted to audition, but Troy was scared, and I don't know why, because he had the beautiful singing voice. But anyway, he was scared, and so was. I'm sorry, I was about to call her Vanessa. And actually, so was Gabriella. So when auditions are over, Miss Darvis is about to leave, but Gabriella catches her and says, I would like to audition Miss Darvis. And then she tells her, I'm sorry, auditions are long over. And I called the pair auditions and he didn't respond. And then Troy showed up and says, I'll sing with her. And then he gets from behind the seat and said, I'll sing with her. And then this is when Miss Darby said, Troy Bolton, where's your sports posse? Or whatever it's called. Even though Miss Darvis doesn't know anything about basketball, she does know her theater. And so when Miss Darvis says, rehearsals are over, they're over, kids. You ain't getting no more. But if rehearsals were over, just answer me this one question in the comments if you would. How do you think she heard them if she left the room? She literally walked out the door. How did she hear them sing with Kelsey playing the piano if she left? Unless she was lurking by the door. And then she left when they got done. I don't know. Just leave it to me in the comments. Like, if she left, how could she hear them singing? Unless she stood at the door while they were about to sing and then she said, "Oh, just let me check this out. Let me see if you guys can sing for real." So anyway, with rehearsal being over, um, Gabriella does get sad, and Troy actually gets sad too that um Gabriella didn't get her second chance to sing after she asked Miss Darvis so politely. Um so so Kelsey gets up to leave, but she trips and falls, and this is when Zach actually helps her up. Well, Troy in this matter actually helps her up, and then he actually starts being really nice to Kelsey. Like, Troy is like such a nice guy. He helps her up, he tells her, "This is your song, you are the composer, and you are the playmaker. The one that puts all the shows together, like in basketball," he means. But the niceness doesn't start there. We actually get a slower version of the song that that Ryan and Sharpay actually sung, and in my opinion, I kind of like the slow version better. But this is when they actually get the callback. So this is the part where I was confused. Like, if Miss Darvis left, how did she hear them all the way from out there if she left the room? But you guys could just leave it for me in the comments. Like, if she left the room, how did she hear them from all the way out there? So they actually do get a callback, and callbacks are like re-auditions. And this is when Troy and his basketball friends figure out, and Chad figured out, that he is going to be re-auditioning, and this is when Chad says, "No, you can't audition for this. I won't allow it, and you have to stick to the stuff you know." And then we get this wonderful song called "Stick to the Status Quo." And when it ends, Sharpay ends up dumping her lunch. Well, Sharpay absolutely bumps into Gabriella, and then Gabriella like dumps her lunch on her, but not on purpose. It was on accident. But she thinks it's all a part in the plan for Gabriella to get her spot in the show, but it's not. But she thinks that anyway. So Gabriella and Taylor actually become really good friends throughout the series. And actually throughout the movie. And and actually this is when Gabriella acts, and this is actually when Gabriella asks Taylor, "What do you know about Troy Bolton?" And she says, "Well, not much." And then this is when Gabriella says, I would join the mathletes. I would join the Scaffold Decathlon. Well, well, I actually skipped a part. You see, when they got their callbacks, they both agreed to do the show together because they sounded great together. So I actually forgot that part. So they sounded great. Together. So they agree to do the callbacks with Kelsey for the duet for the second act of the show. And and our boy Chad, I'm sorry you guys, I had to burp. And our boy Chad is actually trying to talk Troy out of this, saying, "What spell did this math girl put on you that suddenly wants you to be in a musical?" And this is when Troy says the smartest line in the whole movie because I don't understand why a basketball player can't sing in a musical. I really don't understand this. Like, why can't you guys just be supportive of your friends singing in the musical, huh? So this is when Troy says, "Dude, I just did it. Who cares?" And he says, "Oh, how about your most loyal best friend? Have you ever seen Michael Crawford on a cereal box?" And this is when Troy says, "Who's Michael Crawford?" And then, this is when Chad goes into like Michael Crawford sung in the opera. And he says, if you play basketball, you'll end up in a uh, uh, on a cereal box. But if you listen to musicals, you'll end up in my mom's refrigerator. And it's one of her crazy diet ideas. I do not study the female mind, Troy. That's private territory. But here's the thing. Why does it matter if he likes to sing in the musical or not? So, after this, Troy starts. Troy actually stop. Troy actually stops coming to practice to rehearse with Kelsey for the musical, and Gabriella rehearses with her too for the musical. In their and actually their free periods. But since Sharpay doesn't like this, her brother Ryan and her team up, and since they're presidents of the drama club, they actually schedule for the musical to be set on the same day as the game in the Scouts of Decathlon. But I'm forgetting one big thing here. Before this all happened and they all worked together and sung Kumbaya, it took a bad turn because actually Chad, because actually before they all got together and became friends, it actually took a bad turn because actually Chad and Taylor actually planned for them to be recorded. Well, not actually them, for them to record two video wait two videotape Troy saying the musical means nothing to me. Gabriella means nothing to me. And the singing thing is just something to get my nerves down. I don't know. You're my guys, and this is our team. And I will put every ounce into that game as I can. And he actually said, win together, lose together, teammates. And he actually thought that they were all his friends. And this is when he actually says, dude, I'm for the team. I've always been for the team. And dude, do you not see the video camera recording you? Dude, you can't see that. Just and the fact that they played this in the science room on that TV that they rolled in there to get Gabriella on the scheduled console team. Taylor, I thought you were better than that. Because they videotaped Troy saying this, and then it transferred to that television, and then he said all those hurtful things like, Taylor, I thought you were better than that. And then Taylor says, behold, lumphead basketball man. And then, after that, Gabriella cries, and she actually sings a beautiful song, when it was me and you, which I think is a beautiful song. I love it. I love it. I love her voice. And now Troy is not talking to any of his friends because he missed talking to Gabriella. He can't focus on basketball because he misses Gabriella. And Gabriella's sad and she won't talk to Troy. Like, so Taylor, so Taylor and Chad actually realize that they're not talking, so they both agree to set things right. So they find Troy up in the garden where he was talking to Gabriella after the lunchroom fiasco, and the girls actually tell Gabriella what happened and that the Scathlon doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is her feelings for Troy, which I think is a cool thing. I'm happy that they apologized, but I just feel so bad for poor Gabriella. But you guys, don't worry. The best part is coming up soon. So, after Troy learned the truth about this, he calls Gabriella and says, none of that is true. What you heard yesterday, and I enjoyed singing with you, and the Gigi met on vacation is more than that dude that said those mean and awful things. And then he serenades her from outside her window. It's like a really cute moment. So then he serenades her from outside her window with the start of something new, aka the song that they sung on their vacation. So with them doing the musical and the decathlon, they all have to rearrange their schedules. So they do the decathlon work for an hour, he does basketball for an hour, and then he goes to meet Gabriella so they can focus on the auditions. And everybody's working on it as a team to get them there. And since they are both rehearsing, Sharpay actually hears them singing with Ryan. Sharpay and Ryan both hear them singing and says, "We have to do something." And then Sharpay realizes if they get Troy and Gabriella together, then the Scattered Decathlon team goes from Drew to Cool, and Troy and Gabriella will be cool, not them anymore. And then Ryan thinks that they are all talking about like when they first came out with when Taylor and Chad first came out with that plan to 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 make Troy say all those mean things. Ryan actually thought that they were all talking about how Troy and Gabriella could beat them out, but they weren't. So they go and talk to Miss Darvis after hearing how great they sound, and they actually get to discover the decathlon in the big game that Troy and his basketball friends are having to be on the same day so they can miss the musical. But after hearing this, Kelsey, our main girl Kelsey, I love you. I love your character on the piano. Okay, so after hearing this, Kelsey tells them that Ryan and Sharpay have both talked to Miss Darvis, and she agreed to have the event on the same day so they wouldn't have to. So Troy and Gabriella wouldn't be able to make the musical, but they all work together. And actually, the girls actually win the Sketches Decathlon. And then after this, they hack into the school's network, which is how can a high schooler hack into a school's network? Somebody tell me. I just thought that was so interesting how she just hacked into the network, and then she made the scoreboards go all crazy for like everybody had to exit from the gym, and I don't know if somebody did this on purpose, but there was a chemical smelling, and so everybody had to exit to get the chemical smell under control. And again, somebody tell me. Somebody. Somebody better tell me in the comments. How did she hack into the school's network? I just think that's so interesting. So anyway, after everybody exits it, they use this time to get ready for the musical, and Sharpay and Ryan is actually singing "Bop Bop 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 to the Top," and it is such a bop. And it is such a bop, and it is really a great song. But Kelsey, Kelsey, um, being the sunshine that she is, saying, "Wait, Miss Darvis, I know they're not here yet, but they'll be here." And then, Miss Darvis says, The feeder, as I often pointed out, waits for nobody. I'm sorry. And then, as soon as she said that, they came rushing in there. And then they had to beg her to let them perform. But Miss Darvis says, at any event, it is far too late, and but Troy but Troy and Gabriella, they actually win because everybody is there to support them. And I just really like to see that. Like, everybody is there to support him. Like, even Troy's friends and even Gabriella's friends, even Taylor is there to support her. And I have to say, I did like how they all worked together to make sure that they made the musical. And I did actually like Kelsey's line because because um um because um because her and Sharpay actually get into this little tizzle and says, well, you don't have a pianist. So, and then Kelsey says, oh yes you do, pianist here, Miss Service. And then and then she says, you really don't want to do that, Chelsea. And then she says, no, Sharpay, I really think I do. So Miss Service says, now that's showbiz. Now everybody just sits there and waits for them to perform. But Gabrielle is getting kind of nervous. As I said before, she does have stage fright. But Troy tells her to look at him, right at him, for the and to remember the first time that they sung together, just like kindergarten. You see, just like this kindergarten line is like what they said when they first met, like when you first meet a kid and you are so nervous, and then 5 seconds later you are playing like your best friend because you don't have to be anything but yourself. And then and then and then this is when Gabriella just starts to sing, and they sing Breaking Free, and it is a really beautiful moment. And then at the end of the song, and 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 then at the end of the song, Troy actually gets a little kiss on the cheek, and they actually do end up winning the game, just like the girls ended up winning the Sketches the Capsule trophy. And and we get this iconic song, We're All in This Together. And that is the end of High School Musical. I have to say, throughout the years with the show, with the movie, actually becoming a show throughout the years, High School Musical will always be in my heart. And I definitely love this movie, and it it just feels so good to be back on my channel and discussing my love for all my for all my for all my Disney movies. And I have to say I am grateful for all my subscribers for all my subscribers. And I am thankful for you guys. Bye, and see you guys in my next video. Oh, and happy holidays. Bye. And the next video will be High School Musical 2. Thank you. Bye. See you later.